My health journey when it comes to fibroids started in 2015. It seemed like my period changed drastically. Like it seemed like it changed overnight. I was literally changing my pads every 30 minutes. I would have really heavy clots the size of my fist frequently, painful. My periods would last 2 weeks or longer. I would bleed in between periods. It got to a point where I couldn't walk 2 steps without feeling like I was going to pass out. I would have humiliating experiences of bleeding through my clothing in public, on several different occasions. But even with all of that, I normalized it because, my mother had heavy bleeding, my aunts had heavy bleeding. So I just chalked it up to, this is my plight in life. This is what I'm meant to go through when it comes to periods. But it got to a point where I really could not walk without feeling like I'm fighting for air with every step that I took. And my sister, who happens to be a doctor, she came into town. We went to church one day and I soiled my clothing and I soiled this feet. And she asked me, how long has this been going on? And I told her I've been having really heavy menstrual bleeding for the past several months. And for the past few weeks, I've been feeling really weak. So she asked to look at the palms of my hands, the inside of my eyes, and the inside of my mouth. And she said, you literally look like you have no blood left in your body. And you need to make an appointment to get some blood work done ASAP. So it was at her urging that I made the doctor's appointment, got the blood work done. My doctor called me back. She said, you need to go to the emergency room right now because your hemoglobin is dangerously low. It's at a 3, and that is not conducive to life. So those words, not conducive to life, really struck me because I equated that with death. So I went to the emergency room. They ran a host of tests, including an echocardiogram, because I also had a lingering cough that would not go away. And they discovered that I developed something called cardiomegaly, which is an enlarged heart, because like my sister said, I literally had no blood left in my body and my heart was working in overdrive to compensate for that lack of blood. So I needed a blood transfusion because I could have gone into cardiac arrest at any moment. And of course, they attributed all of this at the time to one large fibroid that was on the surface of my uterus. And I didn't know what fibroids were. I knew my mother had them. We didn't talk about it. It was when I was diagnosed, that's when, my mother decided to have the conversation with me about what fibroids were.